Invictus is a poem by William Ernest Henley that was first published in 1888. It originally appeared without a title in Henley's first volume of poetry. The poem's title, Invictus, which is Latin for unconquered, was later given by the editor of the Oxford Book of English Verse. This poem has become quite popular in modern culture and appeared in various movies, including Casablanca and the Nelson Mandela biographical film Invictus. Its last two lines are especially famous and often quoted by politicians and authors. Henley wrote Invictus while he was in a hospital bed. He was recovering from a severe illness. Henley suffered from tuberculosis of the bone. He lost his left leg below the knee. His experiences with illness and physical pain are reflected in the poem's themes of resilience and defiance. This video explores summary and explanation, themes, literary devices and structure of the poem Invictus by William Ernest Henley. Explanation of the poem Invictus by William Ernest Henley. Invictus is a short Victorian poem consisting of 4 stanzas, each with 4 lines. The speaker in the poem faces immense challenges and hardships, but remains resilient and defiant. The speaker starts the poem, describing a night that covers him. He compares it to a pit that is black from one end of the world to the other. He expresses gratitude to the gods for his unconquerable soul. This sets the stage for the poem and introduces the reader to the speaker's grim situation and his inner strength. Then, the speaker talks about being in the fell clutch of circumstance. He is caught in difficult situations. Despite these challenges, he has not cried aloud. Even though he has been bludgeoned by chance, meaning struck down by random misfortunes, his head is bloody but unbowed. This shows his physical and mental resilience. The speaker acknowledges that beyond this place of suffering and tears lies the horror of the shade, which is a metaphor for death. However, he remains unafraid despite the menace that the years bring. This stanza highlights the speaker's courage in the face of death and the unknown. In the final stanza, the speaker declares that it does not matter how narrow the gate to the afterlife is or how many punishments are written down for him. He is the master of his fate and the captain of his soul. This powerful conclusion emphasizes the speaker's belief in self-determination and control over his destiny. Themes of the poem Invictus by William Ernest Henley. The poem discusses the speaker's suffering and how he overcomes it through his inner strength. Despite the challenges, his spirit is energetic and he remains resilient. The speaker believes in acting according to his will and mind rather than being controlled by fate. He emphasizes the importance of free will in shaping one's destiny. The poem strengthens the belief that humans are the center of the universe. The speaker suggests that external forces have no control over his mind or soul. Henley expresses skepticism about conventional notions of God or fate. The poem emphasizes rationalism and the significance of free will. Literary devices of the poem Invictus by William Ernest Henley. The night is personified as something that covers the speaker in darkness. The poet uses a simile when the night is compared to the color of the pit and highlights its darkness. Several metaphors are used, such as the fell clutch of circumstance and the bludgeonings of chance, to describe the challenges the speaker faces. The poet uses metonymy in the phrase, "this place of wrath and tears," which represents the earth. The repetition of the verb find in the 3rd stanza emphasizes the speaker's unchanging fearlessness and suggests usage of polylogy by the poet. The last stanza contains an allusion to a phrase from Matthew 7 verse 14, referring to the narrow gate to heaven. The last 2 lines of the poem are memorable and quotable, often considered an epigram. Structure of the poem Invictus by William Ernest Henley. The poem follows a strict structure, with a set rhyme scheme of a bab CD CD FF GB GB. It is written in iambic tetrameter, as each line has 8 syllables with the stress falling on the 2nd syllable of each foot. However, there are also some variations in the poem. Conclusion of the poem Invictus by William Ernest Henley. Invictus by William Ernest Henley is a powerful poem that speaks to the human spirit's resilience and determination. Through its exploration of themes such as suffering, free will, and self-determination, the poem inspires readers to overcome adversity and remain in control of their destiny. Henley's use of literary devices and structured rhyme and meter enhances the poem's impact, making it a timeless piece of literature.